they say, may attend this year. I don't know if he really will be a vice presidential candidate with Romney, but they are obviously eyeing him, although, as I understand it, he has a citizenship issue. At any rate, we will see what happens, but we've had the Washington Post, Politico, New American, and a lot of other big papers, both online and from the former print world, beginning to cover this issue. By the way, this week we saw Warren Buffett and his Berkshire Hathaway company swallow up 63 papers, and he thinks he's going to be reviving the print industry with papers, and he also wants to accelerate this trend of putting up paywalls for these mainstream news outlets and try to take down blogs that post that news, even if they're commenting on it. And we've seen a lot of that happening already with the Righthaven case and other things, but they're not done yet. Now, we have also talked about Facebook. I did a big piece exposing and really predicting that the Facebook IPO would be a scam, a pump and dump issue. I knew that because I had studied deeply the fact that 5 or 6 executives and founders of Facebook attended the meeting last year, 2011, in St. Moritz, Switzerland. Among those were reported to be, according to the New American, Mark Zuckerberg and his sister, Randy Zuckerberg, who, as I just mentioned, called for the end of internet privacy and anonymity. Difficult word to say sometimes. At any rate, we have seen that become a huge scandal, the Facebook IPO. They're now investigating it. They are subpoenaing Morgan Stanley and other entities. Well, in the build-up to that IPO, we saw the initial funders, who were all tied to intelligence and the Bilderberg Group, sell extra shares. In the last couple days leading up to it, they all prepared to sell extra amounts. You saw Microsoft get in with big shares. You saw Goldman Sachs get in with big shares of the Facebook leading into the IPO. You also saw frontmen for the globalists like U2's Bono. His holding company purchased a huge amount of Facebook shares so that they could sell them at the IPO, which was clearly overvalued. You saw it lose 20% and counting from its stock value from the projected $100 billion. And all the players who put up that big money cashed in. We exposed that. If you didn't see it, go to YouTube and the other platforms and check out that report. But meanwhile, that is not all that Facebook is up to. Sean Parker, who was the first president of Facebook, also the creator of Napster, which really set the tone 10, almost 15 years ago for this clampdown on online privacy, for this clampdown on the freedom of the web, by initiating Napster that made illegal, or what would soon become illegal, downloading of music and other copyrighted intellectual property cool and popular and widespread, particularly among the youth. They got millions and millions of people doing that around the globe, helping themselves to what would eventually become a new clampdown era of the web. Sean Parker attended Bilderberg in 2010. He, along with other Facebook people, have declared that this election, that is the one upcoming in 2012, social media will determine the outcome. That's a headline at TechCrunch.com, and we will see what that happens. But he and the others all are part of this company, Vodafone, and it's no joke because the other Facebook founder, Chris Hughes, is credited with helping Obama win. We'll be back after this. Alex Jones will be back. We'll hit all the issues, including, of course, continued Bilderberg coverage. We're on our way, and we're going to expose the hell out of them. They're trying to legitimize the cybersecurity issue. They're trying to protect online privacy by helping the companies.
Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding
young men fighting.
Blasting out worldwide. We are the voice of liberty, the tip of the spear. Boy, that's scary. We're the best there is. Thank you for joining us. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get to all the news, the big radio show I had planned today, coming up after I've taken quite a bit of your calls, say at the bottom of the hour next hour. And what will we be covering? Well, in England, Canada, and the U.S., so-called environmentalists, they're really just power grabbers, have said that they want jail time for people that don't want to pass carbon taxes to pay Al Gore money. You can just look it up in the London Guardian, Associated Press. They call it climate denial. I remember Chris Matthews saying, you're racist if you don't want Obamacare, written by the insurance companies to force 35 million people to buy their product and let government decide what doctors can give as treatment. But forget the facts. Don't let those get in the way. You're a racist, Carlos Watson and Slimeball Chris Matthews and others said, if you don't support it. But now in Australia, This is in the Australian newspapers. We wrote an article about it on Friday with links to it. People couldn't believe it. They're in the Australian news, TV, print, you name it, saying climate cops, that's what it's a quote, will be sitting in restaurants and on the street listening for anyone criticizing the carbon tax. And if you do, 1.1 million fine, and if you don't pay it, jail time. You heard me right. In Australia, under Magna Carta, a Commonwealth country, that's where our rights come from, is Magna Carta. In England, 1215, you will be fined 1.1 million Australian and arrested if you don't like the 50% carbon tax. I mean, whoa, that even blows me away. That's beyond Gulag Archipelago and the Soviet Union. That's coming up. We've also got face eating. And, you know, I mentioned this. It's the new South Beach diet. We are living in the twilight zone. They're making troops with arms and legs blown off go back into combat. That's U.S. News and World Report. New prosthetics keep amputee soldiers on active duty to the bankers so they can grow all the opium. And then I've got all these other articles in the Miami Herald and others. I just minimized it, but that's okay. They're on South Beach in Florida. Police pull up, and a guy is naked, eating another naked man's face and biting at his neck, blood everywhere. And one guy is almost dead. The cop shot the other zombie off the other person. And this is not the Onion news. I'm not joking. It's on drugsreport.com. It's on Infowars.com. It's on Prisonplanet.tv. This is really happening. I bet money that guy was on Prozac or a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. They're announcing the internet is to be given to the UN. You have no rights. Obama says he launches wars now. Congress says, hey, to go into Libya or Syria, got to come to us. And he says, how about you go jump in a deep, dark lake or off a cliff would be better. You're going to shut down our power plants. China gets 3 a week. We get 3 a week shut down. Congress says, hey, you don't have a law to do that. I have the military standing by with machine guns. It's an army of folks with arms and legs blown off. But it won't matter because soon it'll all be drones and combat droids on the ground. Told you that 10 years ago. Folks didn't believe it. Now it's mainstream news. Got big drone news coming up on the radio show on Tuesday. I'm going to leave it at that, but it's going to be nationwide news-making news. Nationwide news-making news. That's a double entendre. That is all coming up. You tell I'm relaxed here on the road, my friends. Where is that article? I just had that article about South Beach. I'll just go to Infowars.com. I'll just go right there and give you the headline. I had it. That's why I hate being on the road. I love it, but at my office, I print each article, and it can't get screwed up on the computer screen. The computer can't crash. Here it is. Cannibalism comes to South Beach. I'm not making this up. Miami police shoot naked man eating face off of other naked man. I'm not laughing. I mean, I'm laughing, but it's like painful laughing. It's uncomfortable laughing. Like a rabid dog. I'll just take some more psychotropic drugs. Everybody will be like Sergeant Bales. So that is coming up. But right now, let us go to your phone calls. Let us now go to the first person. We'll go to Rise, Robert, Troy, Sean, Karen, Freedom, and others. Rise. Rise to the worldwide airwaves from Oregon. You're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hi, Alex. How you doing today?
That's what I call explosive volcanic eruption. You are on the air worldwide. Thank you for... Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Hi. I just wanted to thank you for being an inspiration to me. I've watched you and listened to you for many years, and your uncovering of the military police state. And I volunteer and have been volunteering for the Portland live stream for Occupy. And we've seen all this abuse. We've seen all this stuff happen, and the mainstream media just doesn't talk about it, or they...
well, it's un-American to protest. I mean, regardless of what you think of Occupy and its goals, it's a diverse group. When Obama couldn't take it over, he had 37-city simultaneous raid, totally unconstitutional outside federal jurisdiction. What are the feds doing coordinating 37 raids on one weekend? That was just phase one. It was 50-something the next week. But regardless, yes, police beating people up in civilian outfits to then blame the protesters. What type of stuff have you seen them do in your area there in Portland, Rise?
Oh man, the Portland police are horrible. They're.
Oh, I saw a video 5 years ago of them specifically spraying babies at an anti-war demonstration with pepper spray and then telling mothers, don't bring them to a protest, and laughing. It's terrorism, so no one protest. They want you to go home, shut up, and let foreign banks take over. The cops want their pensions taken. And don't worry, their pensions will be taken by Goldman Sachs. They're going to win. Don't worry.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't worry, cops. The bankers you serve are going to gang rape you real good. You win. Don't worry. This is what you want. This is what you get. I'm sorry. I'm ranting. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no problem. They're cracking people on the heads with batons, bleeding, tackling 100-pound girls onto the pavement, smashing their face into the pavement.
My camera guy 2 years ago at G20, my guy shot that. They went to the university. No one was even protesting, and they were cracking women on the head with billy clubs, putting them in comas. But that's freedom, sir. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm going to shut up now.
Yeah, they really they're brutal, and they laugh about it too. They intimidate, they threaten. We have all this information.
Oh, but the bankers are going to get them too. They haven't been given all this unconstitutional power for nothing. America is meant to fully fall, and them with it. So don't worry.
Yep, it's that's why it's important to stream. It's important for the citizen journalists to get out there and cover this stuff, like you, the ambush reporting, the filming the police when they're don't think they're being filmed. That's when you catch all this stuff.
What about Illinois, where they want to give people life in prison for filming police when it's in the public First Amendment? I mean, again, this government and other governments. Can you believe Australia is banning speaking badly of carbon taxes? I'm not making this up.
Yeah, it's incredible, the corruption, and the police are just a blunt force to the 1% who are the Bilderbergers. I mean, you're going there to expose this yet again, year after year.
And let's be clear, they didn't get their money through free market. They got it through government and insider deals.
Oh yeah, and they fully fund this $1 trillion defense stuff is arming the police. The war on drugs money is arming the police. And
I got to correct you. On budget is 1.2 trillion. Off budget's 800 bill. That's $2 trillion a year of your tax money to foreign military industrial complex. Domestically, they're spending 500 billion now. 30,000 drones. Our government is taking our money to wage war against us. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then they will put in the newspaper or the media to try and convince the sheep out there that, oh, we destroyed some grass at a park, and so we're bad people. And it's
they need to be arrested and billy clubbed. But by the way, I confirmed in Austin, New York, you name it. It even came out in the news after we confirmed it, that they shipped the homeless, the mentally ill, the prisoners to the occupied so they can crap all over the ground, urinate, get drunk, to then aim cameras at them and say, there's the bad man. And again, even if you don't agree with some of the goals of Occupy, it's a diverse group, the system's demonizing the idea of demonstration when it's in the First Amendment. If you don't like protest and demonstration, you don't like 1776. You don't like Thomas Jefferson. You don't like George Washington. You don't like freedom. You like North Korea and China and Russia. Putin's banned protest. And I am so sick of it. God bless you. Look, most police I talk to are waking up. That's the good news. The military's waking up. But they get the certain cops that they've psychologically profiled in these crowd control units. They go out. They've got a syndrome of being not very manly. They want to prove themselves, and they're cowards, so they do it on a little 90-pound woman. Second hour, your phone calls, masses of news. This is it, the resistance for Western civilization and liberty. This is it, the tip of the spear in the fight for freedom. I'm Alex Jones, Infowars.com. Sick of the Global
Network.
Fearless in the face of tyranny because I know I don't have a choice. If I roll over, I lose, I'm a coward. If I charge head up against tyranny, I win either way. That's what it's all about. That's what wisdom's all about. Thank you for joining us. In the second hour, your calls will continue. In fact, let's